Frank Willis. Hey, look who it is right there. Nolan Ryan. Nolan was awesome growing up as a kid, man. Guy used to strike out everybody, and I mean everybody. Welcome back to the Card Registry, everybody, where every card has a story and every collector has one too. Today you're going to hear some more of my story. Today we got 1986 Topps Baseball. Ended up getting this from Baseball Card Exchange. Got it, I believe, right at about $250. Yeah, about $250. So without further ado, man, let's go ahead and get into this. Back in my days, this is what we had, man. This is the days before all the parallels and the numbered cards and all the autographs. Definitely before all of the breakers. This is the way we had our product, boys and girls. Let me go ahead and put that over here. This is the way our product came, and this is the way we opened it, man. We had these packs here. 1986, special year in baseball, man. You had a lot of legends that were still playing the game, future Hall of Famers. They were building their careers. Oh, I feel the bubble gum. Man, it's been ages, and I mean absolute ages, since I've opened up 1986 Topps. And I'll get into some of my story with these Topps cards here as well. We've got Dale Murphy, Brett Sandberg, Pete Rose, Fernando Valenzuela. Let me show you guys the bottom. I'm keeping this, man. This is really cool. I wasn't one of the kids who cut these box bottoms up and had them as cards. As a matter of fact, I never even had this box as a kid. But I did have some of the cards, man, which is really cool. I can't wait to open this and hopefully, man, we get some studs in here, man. You know, most notably, for me at least, with this, let me put these just to the side just to have a little bit more space to work with. Most notably, for me at least, it's going to be Bo Jackson, man.
A real quick editor's note, everybody. After filming this video, I did some additional research, and I discovered something I probably should have known beforehand, but it's okay. Bo Jackson's rookie card can't actually be pulled from a regular 1986 Topps wax box like I was opening. It's only found in the Topps traded, the 1986 set. So rather than edit out every time I mention Bo, I decided to leave it in there because I think it's important to show the learning process. This hobby is always teaching us something, and this was just one of those moments. So keep on enjoying the video, and don't worry about every time I mention Bo. We still pull some cool cards. Thanks.
Jackson, man, that's what I'm really chasing here. As a kid, let me put them off to the side like this. There we go. And I think I'm gonna just take a couple from the top. I'm gonna take the first 4 from the top, and I'm gonna put these away, man. I'm probably gonna save these and open these, and I don't know, or make some videos with my kids to open them so you could see what it was when Boppy was opening old cards. My kids aren't here right now; they're at Disney World with my wife. But anyway, for me, Bo Jackson was the player that really started my love and affinity for this hobby, man. I just remember, you know, the saying of, you know, Bo knows, you know, going into the 90s. And I remember being in elementary school, and one of my classmates ended up bringing a... Let me get that gum off of there. If we get a really nice copy of that Bo Jackson, I'm gonna go ahead and eat one of these sticks of gum. But I remember my classmate bringing that Bo Jackson card, and it was in one of those screw down cases, and it was autographed, and man, that card was, I mean, just so awesome to me. I was in love with that card, and you know, I had about 20 bucks in my pocket, and I remember telling him, hey man, I'll buy it from you. And he ended up selling it to me. And his mom ended up writing a letter to the teacher, and I remember her saying to me, hey Marcos, yeah, you got to give so-and-so his card back. He wasn't allowed to sell it. And I was like, hey man, what about my money? You know, my $20. He's like, oh, yeah, not a problem, man. I'll go ahead and bring you back your money. and I had to bring the card back, and I never got my money back. But it's all right, man, because the memory of having that Bo Jackson rookie card in my possession, in my hands, for a little bit of time that I did, that's what really started this all for me. And that's where it was at for me, man. That's where this hobby and my passion for it first started, was that Bo Jackson, man. So hopefully I get to find that Bo Jackson. These cards aren't worth particularly much, but just being able to pull that Bo Jackson, and you know what, I think that no matter what its condition is, just because I never pulled a 86 Bo organically like this, I'm gonna go ahead and just slap them up regardless, just for the simple fact that it was me, and I'll keep that one in the PC forever. For me, guys, it's not about making the money in this. I don't collect just to flip and to make the money. I collect because I enjoy collecting. I enjoy the hobby a lot. One of my pillar sayings here at TCR is, fall in love with the hobby for the first time or all over again, and I'm falling in love with it all over again. Part of my story is that I had joined the Marine Corps. Nice Darren Dalton there. Joined the Marine Corps in 2001, and after I got out of the Marine Corps in 2005, I was a little hard up on money, and I had to sell my entire collection. I had baseball. It was 95% baseball that I had and collected. That's a really nice right there. I like that. That's nice. Hey, Pete Rose, Charlie Hustle. Say what you say about him. But I was hard up on money, and 90 to 95% of my collection was baseball. I had some football, some basketball, primarily baseball though. I had Pokemon cards. Had a bunch of Pokemon cards that I collected when I was a little boy. Some comic books. I had Magic the Gathering that I collected as well, and I basically sold everything except for my Magic the Gathering, and I kept about 2 or 3 comics. And man, I regretted it. But I wasn't able to partake in a hobby at that time, man. I was an adult and I had adult things to do, and now that I have adult money per se, and my income's a little bit more disposable than it was back then. I recently got back into the hobby about a year and a half ago, and man, I just missed it so much, and I love opening up some of these older cards from my childhood. I do enjoy the new product as well, just so I could see the new superstars, and a lot of these new cards, man, they go for insane amounts of money. It's really crazy to me how much some of these cards are selling for. But like I said, I'm more in it for the hobby and just for collecting these cards, man. They're beautiful cards. They bring me back to a place when I was a little boy, and I just enjoy it, man. I want to pass some of that on to my kids, to the viewers. Just my love for the hobby and why I enjoy it, man. It really is fun for me. Some people might see this as boring, but I see this as fun. I can come home after work and take a look at the cards that I have, arrange them, spend some time there. My little Zen zone, I can get the kids into it. I've got 4 kids, and with the younger ones, what I like to do is have them help me separate it in numerical order like that, and it helps them with the counting. It gets them involved, talk to them about the players or whatever cards it is that we're looking at, and they seem to enjoy it. Hey, Rod Carew, Randy Hunt, Howard Johnson. Man, I remember thinking that the hotels Howard Johnson were owned by him. I was like, man, he's a baseball player and he owns hotels. That's cool. Little did I know. Earl Weaver, John Tudor, Richard Dotson, Frank Willis. Hey, look who it is right there. Nolan Ryan. Nolan was awesome growing up as a kid, man. Guy used to strike out everybody, and I mean everybody. I think he had, over 5,000 strikeouts, bunch of no-hitters. I don't know, 6 or 7. I think it was 7. He was just He was just unstoppable back then, man. Nice looking card too. Very nice card. I think I'm gonna put Nolan to the side. I like that. I'll put Nolan to the side. I'm sure I should have put, you know, Pete Rose to the side and some of the other players. Once I'm done with this and I'm off camera, I'll go through it and some of the Hall of Famers that I ended up passing through. You know, Reggie Jackson. I believe Ricky Henderson. Well, not I believe Ricky Henderson is here. Tony Gwynn, Wade Boggs. Rest in peace, brother. Wade Boggs. You know, I'll get all of them. Rain Sandberg's in here too. It's a really nice class. John Christensen. Jim Frye manager card. Manny Lee, Ray Knight, Terry Forster, Rob Deere, Brooke, Dave. There he goes there. Vince Coleman, Ken Dixon, Rod Gardner, Jeff Calhoun. Kyle Ripken's in this too. This is not a Kyle Ripken card, but Kyle Ripken's in here as well. It's a nice card. Who else did we have in here? I said Wade Boggs. Tom Seaver, Hall of Famer. Yeah, I believe he's in here too. The Hawk, Andre Dawson. Can't forget about him. Remember when he was on the Marlins. You guys will find out about me, man. I'm a huge Marlins guy. I love the PC, the Marlins. Anything and everything Marlins, I usually keep. All the doubles and all those cards, man. I end up keeping a whole bunch of them. Joe, Rich, Wayne. Drives me nuts. You have all these cards that are backwards. Julio Franco, that's nice there. Or upside down. With all the new product that's out, they're pretty darn good about keeping the cards the same way. And Pedro Guerrero, that's nice. And if something was backwards or upside down in the new product, it's usually a hit of some sort, you know, an autograph or some sort of short print. You know, there was none of that stuff with these cards. They're nice though, man. They're in really good shape for being really old, man. They're what, 40 years old this year? So for a 40-year-old product, the gum still looks pink, you know. I'm glad it's not crumbling all over the place. I mean, I do have some of it sprinkled here on the TCR logo, but it ain't too bad. Nothing we can't work with. Dave Henderson. Dusty Baker. Check him out. Legend right there. We put Dusty over here. Tom Seaver, turn back the clock. Dave Palmer. Steve. What other guys did we have in here? And you know what? Even the people that aren't notable players or Hall of Famers, and I'm sure somebody somewhere, my age or younger or older, man, look how horribly cut that card was. But that, you know, somebody somewhere collected Jim Slatton, Slatton, excuse me, or Daryl Miller. You know, all these cards, all these players, they had collectors somewhere, and that's what I enjoy about this. And hopefully some of those older collectors who I'm trying to have fall in love with the hobby all over again, see these cards and we're like, man, I remember having that in the binder as a kid, and it brings back some memories to them, hopefully, and then they get back into the hobby or man, they just become subscribers. And by the way, guys, if you haven't subscribed to my channel, please do so. Like, comment, subscribe, share, all that good stuff, man. I love interacting with the people. I'm a big people person. I love talking to people. So yeah, man, go ahead and do that. I'd really appreciate it. It would help me out. It would help the channel out. And all that good jazz. Hubie Brooks, Vaughn Hayes, Kurt, Tom Browning, Tony Pena, Bill Dolly, Tony Perez, Mark Davis, Tom. Look at those mustaches from back in the days. Gerald Perry, Adley Hamker, checklist. That's what the checklist looks like. Jerry Reed. Looking at these cards, and while physically they look great, and a lot of the corners look very sharp. I mean, this box was in the box itself was impeccable, that I purchased, and you know, after having it in my hand and just seeing how good it looked. So obviously whoever had these cards, you know, stored them in a manner that, you know, they weren't getting dinged around and stuff like that, and they look really well. They show really good, but as you could see, you know, just like with any product from back in those days, you know, when grading wasn't huge, and I guess quality control, it's just like whatever, man. Hey, Kirby Puckett. I forgot about Kirby, man. Kirby was awesome, man. Played a good game growing up. Very notable career. Awesome. But yeah, you know, these cards, you know, some of them you can see are not very well centered, you know, or cut right on. That's okay. And like I said too, man, no matter what that Bo Jackson looks like that I pull out of here, I'm gonna go ahead and just slab him up and have him in my collection forever. And you know, just the story that'll go along with that Bo Jackson that's just one, the rookie card that I pulled personally, but two, that's just the card that started it all for me, for the love of the hobby, man. And I've got a big affinity for Joe, man. I collected a lot of those superstars from, you know, back in the days that we always hear the stories about, you know, those Hall of Famers, especially in the 90s. Once I just started getting more into it and understanding the game more and stuff like that. You know, Ken Griffey was obviously, you know, show me a kid that didn't collect a kid. Frank Thomas, Nolan Ryan, Kyle Ripken. Kyle Ripken was awesome, man. I love Kyle Ripken. Jim Thome. A lot of those big name players, man. They were great for me growing up. A lot of memories with them. A lot of Braves too, man. David Justice, Chipper Jones, Greg Maddux, Smoltz. Saw a lot of Braves games growing up as a kid, just because they were on TNT, and they were, I believe, known as America's team, just because, you know, TNT showed all their games, and then in '93, I'm from Miami, and then in '93, once the Florida Marlins came about, they started showing a lot of Florida Marlins game, and I've always been a Florida Marlins fan. That's why I PC them. Goes another Nolan Ryan. This one actually looks better than the other one. It doesn't have some of that whitening along the edges or anything like that. Very nice example of the card. Thanks, Nolan. Might send some of these off to him through the mail as well. I know no one does the through the mail signatures. I believe he charges a fee. I think it's like $50 or $70 for each card. So that'd be cool to be able to have him sign a card or two that I pulled, and keep that in the PC. Yeah, there goes what I was telling you guys about as far as, you know, the off centering and the cutting. Yeah, you could just see it here between these two cards, how different they look. That's fine though. I'm okay with it. All right, on to the next pack. In the comment section too, man, tell me if you guys have ever opened up this type of product, and if you've ever pulled, you know, any of your PC guys, and tell me who your PC was growing up as a kid. Let me know. I'd love to know about that stuff. Maybe we had the same PC, or maybe we could share some stories or some memories about it, man. Jack Morris, Ed Romero, Mickey Hasser, Tippy Martinez, Dave Schmidt, Greg, Jody. I don't know how many cards were in the set. Probably, you know, 600 or 700 cards in the set. Mario Ramirez, look at that. I'd be smiling like that too if I played baseball, boys. And on the front of a baseball card, Jesse Orozco. But yeah, I'm not sure how many cards. It goes nice little Pete Rose there, record breaker card. Were in this set. Roy Lee Jackson. I'll have to look that up. Maybe I should have looked that up before opening these cards. But yeah, it's probably like 600 or 700 cards. You know, I'd be surprised if there was more than 800. All right, we haven't pulled Bo yet, so wish me luck. Hopefully he comes up soon. You know, get a nice little exciting moment there for me and the Bo. He and I could be reunited, and it feels good. Oh, that's a cool Pete Rose card. That's pretty nice. 4-1, I guess, huh? Pete Rose years. Look at that. Got that gum stand in the back, but that's all right. Steve Ron Darling, Jeff Reardon. Is that one stuck together there? No, just felt like it. No, Not the Blue Jay we're looking for. Let's see. Matt Young. Dan Geoff. All right, let's keep it going. Who else did we have in here? Eddie Murray. Mike Schmidt. Yeah, Mike Schmidt was in here. Tim Raines? I think so. Tim Raines, maybe? Yeah, I believe Tim Raines was playing back then. Dwight Gooden. Yeah, Dwight. All right, let's keep it going. Steve Carlton. Hall of Famer Steve Carlton. All right, George Wright. Tony Perez. Greg Goss. Robin Yount. Look at that. MVP. 2 different positions, I believe, in the outfield. Wasn't he? And the infield too? I know he was an MVP, though. Had a bunch of hits. He racked up hits like it was cool back then, man. Let me go ahead and put Robin over here. Bruce Benedict. Wally Backman. Braves. Claudel Washington. Yeah, I remember him. Baseball. Spring Fever. Roger Craig. Eric Show. Dave Winfield. I don't know why, man. I see him as Michael Straham's uncle or big brother. They just look so alike to me. That's a nice Dave Winfield card. I think I'm going to put Dave to the side there too, man. Dave had a great career. Darrell Evans. Cecilio. Mookie Wilson. Dan Driessen. Hey, Tom Seaver. Hall of Famer Tom Seaver. That's nice. That is nice. He had a great career. I'm going to go ahead and put Tom's card there. Even though it's all miscut, I'll still sleeve him up. It'll be nice for the PC. Tom had a great career. All right. We haven't got a Tony Gwynn yet either. Tony would be nice to pull. Tony had a great career, man. The guy was hitting everything. He made hitting look easy. And in my opinion, that's one of the hardest things to do in any sport is to hit a baseball, man. I think it's a science to try to hit a baseball. Ah. Oh, well, that's the Dwight Gooden card. There he goes. Hey, man, it looks really good, too. Man, of all the cards, to get gum on the back. It looks cut really well. The corners look great. Colors look very nice, too. I don't think I'd ever get that off the back. But I think that's just part of the allure, man. That'd be cool to sleeve up or to slab up, and it has that bubblegum stain on the back. I think that'd be great. All right, let's see. Mike Mason, Eddie Milner, Dave Parker, Frank Viola, Bill Amon, Dale Berra, George Brett, another great player there, man. Hall of Famer. He could hit. He was a complete all-around player. That guy could hit and intimidate. He was awesome. You know, let me go ahead and put George over here. Bob Ojeda. Steve. Willie McGee. That was awesome growing up. Another one of those Pete Rowe cars. Brent. Billy Martin. And, hey, Terry Francona. Player, manager. That's awesome. A nice card. All right, Bo, when you going to come up and show yourself, man? Love to see you. Try not to rip the packs too much. Actually, I want to save all these packs from all the cards that I'm opening. I want to make real nice, like collage picture frame. Bob Clark. Joaquin. Denny Martinez. Man, I feel like I'm turning every single one here. I just about am. Crazy. Dan. Tony Fernandez. Chuck Porter. Checklist. Brett Saberhagen. Dale Murphy. Tito. Oh, and Bruce. All right. Let's keep it going while we're hot. Come on, Bo. We're halfway through. Still no Bo. Bo will be great. Get that gum, put it there. Banking on pulling a Bo so I can have some gum. Have something to chew on here. Larry Parrish. Ray Miller. Lloyd Mosby. Chris Chambliss. Tim Wallach. Dave Collins. Mark Salas. Blue Jays. Bill Swift. Rick Langford. Checklist. Vince Coleman, record breaker. Most stolen bases as a rookie. That's nice. I think I'll go ahead and put him over here. I forgot all about Vince. Good for him. Wasn't the most amazing player. I don't even think he made the Hall. But he was exciting to watch. I remember watching some of his stuff. He didn't play very long though, I don't think. But I do remember him. Mark Bailey, Mike Hargrove, Harry Rouse, Dan Pasqua, Dave Anderson, Tim Launder, Ken Howell, Randy Reddy. Not the roles we're looking for. Dave Smith, kind of had that same Nolan Ryan look. And goes Vince's card here. Johnny Scott. I don't think we've got Tim Raines or Robbie Ventura. I'm thinking of all these players that played back then, man. Or who should have played or could have played or would have played. I don't think I've seen any of their stuff yet here. Hopefully soon, though. Get that out of there. All right. Rick Camp. Pat Sheridan. John Wathan. Willie Hernandez. Steve Garvey. Danny Walling. Tom Herr. Glenn Cook. Steve Crawford. Ted Power. Pedro Guerrero, another one. Turn back the clock. Willie Mays. It would have been nice if this was a 71. Topps would pull out like that. That would have been awesome. I don't think I have that type of money though. Bobby Wine. Don S. And Luis Liao. All right, Bo. Any day. Any day. Watch Bo be in those 4 packs that I left to the side there to rip open with my kids. That'd be ironic. All right, Danny Heap. Frank. Chris Bando. Meesterly. Gary Ward. Bill. Dick. Tony Perez. Jeff Calhoun. I don't think I've seen Kyle Ripken either. Rudy Law. I put that here. Got a nice little stack of bubblegum. It'll be a shame to have to throw all that bubblegum away and not be able to chew one of them. It would be a shame. All right, let's see. Jackie Moore, Lamar Hoyt, Jay, Ron Hassey, William Upshaw, Chris Welsh, Dick Schofield. Who's this? Charlie Moore. Gerald Perry. Hadley Hamker. Kevin Bass. Checklist. Jerry Reed. And Beat. Daniel Murphy for the Braves. All right. Still no bow. Let's try to get it here. We're down to about like 12 or so packs, 13 packs maybe. Bob Forsch, Carl Best, Keith Fernandez, Bob Gibson. That's nice. Bob had a great career too. Ed Nunez, Gary Templeton, Mike Scott, Johnny Grubb, Chatone, Dustin, Mark Davis, Heath, Bobby Brown. No, not the singer. Man, look how bad that card was cut. I almost cut the L off in Len's name. Let me see. 1, 2, 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11 more packs. Oh boy. Am I going to have to dig into the 4 packs that I wanted to do with my kids for the sake of pulling this Bo Jackson? I hope not. You'd think odds would be I'd find at least one already. But nothing. And I know I have the opportunity to go out and buy him, you know. Tommy Lasorda. But where's the fun in that, man? You know? Wouldn't be able to make these long form videos of, you know, me ripping these cards. Charlie Hoff, former Marlins pitcher there. I believe he was our opening day pitcher. Look at that. But yeah, what would be the fun in just buying that single Bo Jackson, you know? Where I could rip all this awesome product and show you guys and bring back those memories of ripping these cards as kids. Darren Dalton, that's really nice there. Mike Jorgensen. That was on there stuck pretty good. I got this stack of gum just falling and creeping closer and closer and closer and closer. Let me get that wrapper out of the way. It wants to stay. Oh well, we'll let it stay. For now. Carlton Fisk. There you go. Rafael Santana. Sparky Anderson. Hey, another Pete Rose. Like I said, I'm going to go back to these cards anyway, but let me put that Pete over here, man. I remember I was in Vegas when I was in the Marine Corps. I was at a mall. And he was at the mall, just, you know, anything you brought up to him, you know, with 20 bucks and he's signing. I should have done that back then. But my mind was in a different place once I was in the Marine Corps. All right, let me put these cards here. Let me get some of this gum debris off of the mat. There we go. All right, keep it moving. Tim Raines. All right, let's see. UL Washington, Bruce Bochy. There goes some of that horrible cutting of these cards. Jimmy Stewart. Tim Raines, look at him there. That's a really nice card. Bill Kruger. Roger Maris. Joe Desai. Mike. Sid. Wasn't 86 Barry Bonds' rookie year too? Was it 86 or 87? I can't remember now. I do know it was the 80s though. I can't remember. I'll look that up when I'm done. And I'm sure if it was this year, we probably would have found him as well. And if it's not, then that's why we haven't found him. I know it was sometime in the 80s though. Bob Knepper. Got a co-worker with the last name Knepper. Steve Kemp. John. Alejandro. Brett Butler. It's actually Nepper. At least that's the way they pronounce it. I don't know how this Tom did. Jose Rejon. Dick Hauser. Howe. Rusty. John Russell and Dave Johnson. I wonder him and Howard were related. Alright folks. Our last stack is slowly dwindling down. And we still have not pulled that Bo Jackson. He's eluding us. Rich. Dave. Tim. Steve. Jerry. Greg. Carney Lansford. Bill Russell. Yeah. Greg Gagne. Eric Davis. Jeff Barkley. Ron. Frank Williams and Pascual Perez. Let's go, Bo. I know you're in here somewhere. Tom Brunowski, Doug Flynn, Tom Herr, Mark Bailey, Mike Hargrove, Onyx Concepcion, Don Slott, Chuck Tanner. I can't pronounce Ed's last name. I don't know if that N is silent. Alright. Brian Harper. Tony Phillips. Craig. Tom Filler and Jim Slanton. Man, folks, I don't know if we're going to see Bo Jackson, man. I don't know if he's going to make an appearance for us. And it's a shame. You know? Well, it's not a shame. Because we still got the memories of ripping these cards, and you guys, you know, get to relive those memories through me or through this video. So nah, I wouldn't call it a shame, you know. I still call it a win. You know, we're hoping for that. And if anything, man, we just buy another box and try again. Yeah, that was the whole point of collecting, you know, just like Pokemon. You got to catch them all. You got to collect all these cards. Hey, Rain Sandberg. There we go. Card isn't cut the best. I didn't even realize that's where the sticker, or not the sticker, but the gum was on. That's fine though. Like I said, that'd be cool to get that slabbed up with that in the back. I'll probably drop it down to a 4 or 5. Who cares? Collect the card and not the grade, you know? John, Richard Dotson, Frank Willis, another Nolan Ryan. That's fine. We'll put Nolan there too. I believe that's our third one there. Mario Soto on the back there. Ernie Ralph. Man, this one broke into 3. James Cannon order. Keith Fernandez. Dick Schofield. And Heat. Frank. Man, Frank looks like a kid there. Adobe McDowell. Murray Riles. There goes his card there. Jim Clancy. Ivan De Jesus. There goes Mario with that smile again. I'm telling you, if I was on a baseball card playing baseball, I'd be smiling too, man, in every single picture. Phil. John Denny. Tommy John. That's why we got the name of the surgery from Tommy John. I believe he was the first pitcher to ever get that. That's why we got it called that. Beautiful card. Card looks great too, man. Looks perfectly centered and everything. Man, look at that for stats. No wonder he needed Tommy John surgery. He was pitching since the 40s. Now I'm playing. But he was pitching, man, from the 60s? Wowzers. Yeah. Look at that. All that time pitching, and then he gets that surgery. You got pitchers now just coming to the league from the minor leagues, and they need that surgery. They get it done in the minor leagues. It's crazy. I wonder what it is that these pitchers are having all those arm issues now. I'm sure they had it back then too, but it just seems like it's so much more prevalent right now. All right. Rafael Santana, Steve Carlton, Tommy Lasorda, Eddie Whitson, Bill, Herm Winningham, Larry Sorsen, Steve Braun, Damaso Garcia, Bob James, Rick, Wayne, John Butcher, Pedro Guerrero, Greg Minton. Man, well, we don't get Barry in these packs. Hopefully we get them in those packs that I'm going to rip with my kids once they get back from their trip with mommy. And hopefully I can get that on video for you guys. But if not, I'm going to have to buy another box. There's no other choice about it. Rolly fingers. There we go. Raleigh, Rolly. Nah. That's nice, though. Yeah, not the roll we're looking for. Gary Carlton Fisk. Nice Carlton Fisk card. This one's got a bunch of whiting up at the edges, though. I don't know if you guys can see that very good there. That's fine, though. It's still a nice card. Guys, tell me, what do you think I should do with these cards? Put them in a box, or should I put them in a binder and try to collect the whole series, since I'm obviously going to have to buy another box of this? Donnie Scott. Dennis Rasmussen. Oh no, this pile here. Alright guys, last pack mojo. We'll figure it out. If not, like I said, with my kids, when they get back, I'll open up those packs so they could see what it was like when Daddy was opening packs when he was a little boy. It wasn't like the packs of today that, you know, are all heat sealed and you rip them apart from the top. Alright. Let's go, Boat. Sid Fernandez. Luis De Leon. Dane. It's not the role we're looking for. Doug. Daryl Porter. George Vanberger. Rick. Gene Nelson. Alex Trevino. Fernando Valenzuela. Ken Howell. Dave Stewart. And no Bo Jackson. You know what, folks? I'm going to buy another box. And we'll check it out. But until I buy another box, it's just killing me, man. Because what if it's in here and I don't get it for the content? So let me go ahead and open up these last 4 that I was going to save for my kids. Is it selfish of me? Maybe a little. But you know what? I'm going to buy another box. Hey, Ron, say I'm going to buy another box anyway. So I'll go ahead and buy another box. And with those 4, I'll definitely... or with that box, I'll definitely put 4 away so that me and the kids can open up. But let's see if Bo's in this box. Tom Nato. Mike Fitzgerald. Kevin Gross. How crazy would it be if he is in one of those boxes or one of these packs that I was gonna open with my kids? Frank Willis, Bob Rogers, Kurt, Nate, Craig, and Ron Saying. Very popular growing up. I believe Ron was with the Dodgers at one point too, no? Might have been. Or he might not have been. Get that stick there. Harry. Gary Pettis. Lee. Alvin Davis. John Lesky. Ryan Snyder. Sean. Alejandro Peña. Johnny Grubb. Dustin. A checklist card. Mike Jorgensen. And Sparky Anderson for the managers for the Tigers at the time. All right. Keep growing these stacks. 2 more packs. And if he's not in these packs, then hey, it was not meant to be for me to get Bo on this video, and that's okay. It's meant to be for another video for you guys to watch. More gum. I got a huge pile going on there. Let's see. Carmelo Martinez. Dave Van Gord. Another Rain Sandberg. I'll put him over here, man. Tom Brunowski, Doug Flynn, John Tudor. Man, I don't think we got a Kyle Ripken at all here. Willie McKee, that's crazy too. Dan Petrie, Ken Dixon, Frank Robinson, that's cool. Turn back the clock. Dennis Rasmussen, Glenn Nelson. Alex Trevino, and again, Fernando Valenzuela. All right, folks, last pack, and this will be it. Let's see if we get blessed with Bo's magical card in here. Let's see, let's see. All right. Ray. Nick. Ugh. Len. I'm getting a little nervous. What if he is in here? Charles Hudson. Bud Black. Jay Howell. Keith Moreland. Steve Yeager. Tony La Russa. Mike. Alright, so the last one's an expo, so it's not going to be there. Let's see if underneath this we got our Bo, and no Bo. But it's alright though, man. This was a great rip. Brought back a lot of memories, man, especially opening up these type of packs. I remember as a kid always eating the gum. You guys aren't going to hear me crunching into one of these gums today, unfortunately, but hey, man, you know, that's okay, man. That's the name of the game, man. You know, sometimes you win them, sometimes you lose them here, and it is what it is. I think it was fun regardless. You know, we found a bunch of Hall of Famers, some few rookies, you know, quite a bit of forgotten players, you know, from baseball history. And like I always say, guys, you know, every card has a story and every collector has one too. So thank you for joining me on this journey through 1986 Topps Baseball. This is Marcos from the Card Registry. Keep collecting the stories, and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye, everybody.